Ladies and gentlemen, Lab After Dark is starting shortly. Lab After Dark is starting soon. Lab After Dark is starting soon.
Right.
Well, you opened that Pandora's door.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever, you know.
What's the point in causing the eruption?
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Lab After Dark. It's good to see you. Great to be here. And don't let my tone fool you. I am happy to be here. absolutely ecstatic on this beautiful, beautiful.
Zombie Ribcage donated $5 through Super Chat. Hey kid, how the hell are ya?
I'm pretty good, and thank you. I appreciate that, Donna. Thank you, and Pop, aka Zombie Ribcage, one of my favorite names. Thank you so much. Zombie Ribcage. It's like the funniest. Martha, good to see you. And let me see. Phoebe, good to see you. L. Kennedy in the house. Right on. Let me see what's going on up here. All right, so let's pack in. Let's Kelsey in the house. Good to see you, Kelsey. It feels like I just saw you guys not that long ago because we had such a long show last night, and typically those shows do go long because we go through the I guess the whole process of setting it up and getting schedules fixed. That way we can do it. And it was a fun show. Had a good time. And hopefully you guys checked it out. And thank you for being there and leaving a comment. But it was fantastic. Nice mix of old callers, new callers. And I love them all. I mean, I don't think we haven't received a bad call in quite some time. And trust me, we've had some bad calls before. Oh, trust me, we've had some bad calls before. I remember one time I was doing a call-in show because I don't know, some of you might remember, but I used to do them by myself too, quite often actually, or at least take calls. But PG Little, good to see you. How are you? And I remember somebody called in one time, and they were like, it was supposed to be a prank call, I think, and all they were saying was they kept asking me about. They were asking me about like the foam proof or the soundproof foam. It was around the time that Dawn called me, yeah. But Dawn called me many times, on the air, off the air. So, I mean, I remember, but he's like, "Why do you have that like foam?" And that was the best prank call that I could get, really, and it didn't last very long. And I thought it was going to be a better prank call than it was, but you know, not everybody can prank like old Joshy Poo here. And I wish that they could, but you know. Anyway. Yeah, on air calls. Mary, thank you. Yeah, we had a great time. Josh, can you play that woman who called in? Oh, the deer blind lady? Oh, my God. I think I played that not that long ago. Yeah, depending, I can, yeah. But the deer blind call was nuts. Like, that was a crazy call. And I still don't know who, like, not that I was trying to figure out who it was, but I still, to this day, don't know who it was. I have some thoughts and theories about who it was, but I don't know exactly who it was. Some people said it was Sonia, which is Dawn's sister. That wouldn't surprise me, but it was just it was what a wild time, and I think that's sort of why I am. I think that's sort of why, like, sort of this new age shit with people. You know, the coming of age new YouTubers and shit don't really bother me because, I mean, there's not really much further you can go than to be physically threatened, to be, you know, killed, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. I mean, by a violent felon, by the way, too. Not just some Joe Schmo. It was somebody that has violent tendencies and by all accounts is a complete asshole. And I got a comment today, and I don't even know. I assume that they were talking about Dawn or Candace because they were like, actually, let me find that because I found it interesting. I find everything sort of interesting, but give me a second here. And also, I was reading about the hostages being released, and I can't even imagine. Like, I don't even know. I don't know how somebody recovers from that. Physically, I guess that they could, and some of them will. I doubt that they're in very good shape from what I understand, but mentally, I mean, how would you ever get over anything like that? I don't know. I don't know if there's something. I don't think that there is a way. I mean, I don't know. It's really tough, and I am glad that at least for now that there's some peace. For now, I'm optimistic, but I'm skeptical. I mean, I know the people of Palestine seem to want it, and, you know, Israel's agreeing to it, but Hamas, you know, and it's just volatile, man. It's what they know. It's all of them. The Middle East is just ravished, been that way forever, you know, and so hopefully something changes. I'm just really happy that somehow, some way, I ended up being born where I was, and that's a blessing. I do not take it for granted. I used to. I used to in a big way, and so it's just a really volatile time, and hopefully things change. Now, I want to know if this lady responded to a comment, because for some reason she didn't like Josh. Or I don't know if she did or not, but I mean, I don't think that the Middle East is going to stop fighting each other. Okay, here we go. Response status responded. Not okay, here we go. So I don't know who wrote this, but it says, why are you calling the parents of a missing child ridiculous nicknames? Are you supposed to be some kind of professional? Shame on you. That was this is from just today, I think. My response was, I'm not sure who you're referring to, but I don't feel shamed if I did it. And I would assume that they're talking about Dawn and Candace.
Athletic shoe emoji, air_force_wands, athletic shoe emoji, donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Guess what day it is? Wiener Wednesday, woohoo.
It's Wiener Wednesday. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was Wiener Wednesday. Air Force One. I didn't know that. I really, truly promise you, I didn't know that. I would assume that they're talking about Dawn and Candace, but I can't be 100% sure. I can only be like a little bit sure. I don't know who else I call names. Who else do I call names to? I think it's mostly just them. It's not even so much Candace. It's mostly Dawn. And that's just like on a personal level. It's not, it has nothing to do. Well, it does have stuff to do with his child going missing. However, why are you calling the parents of a missing child ridiculous nicknames? Aren't you supposed to be some kind of professional? I mean, first of all, nobody's ever called me some sort of professional. And if you have to ask if I'm some sort of professional, I'm obviously not a professional. Professional dickhead. I don't know. What do you want me to? What do you? Sorry, it's Wiener Wednesday. Some sort of professional. Oh yeah, we're running a real professional. We're running a real professional friggin' show over here, folks. Big time professional. Phoebe says the Wells have broken up. Yes, they do that often. And sounds like there's a couple chicks in the way. And dudes. You know. Sounds like there's a couple chicks in the way, a couple dudes in the way, a couple white boys in the way, a couple, yeah, there's no, I don't understand the professional part of it. What's up, Muscles? Good to see you. How are you? Yeah, exactly. Zombie. I don't know. No, I do not have a guest tonight. I had a guest last night. Maybe he was the professional. Maybe. I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe it will lead to, maybe it will lead to something, but who knows? I hope it is. I hope it is. Yeah. In other news, did anybody follow that Mark Sanchez situation where that man was stabbed, or that man stabbed Mark Sanchez, who was beating the piss out of an old man, and I was like, wow. I've actually met Mark Sanchez a couple of times. He was he used to come up here because there was a linebacker that was being recruited for USC when he played at USC, and his name was Ray Maluga, and Mark Sanchez was also being recruited to that school, and Mark Sanchez is a very, very large dude. I think he's the better part of 6'4", probably 215, 220 pounds. And he got in a fight with a 69-year-old dude. 69 years old. Which is just so weird, you know. But then I don't know if any of you heard, but then the mother of his child, or what, I don't know how many kids he has. I don't know how many women. I have no idea, but I know that he has one, as we call it in the biz, baby mama, who absolutely dogged him out to the Inquirer or whoever it was, saying that she's not surprised by any of this, that he's an alcoholic and all this stuff. And let me show you here. Hold on.
Does this?
This is a wild. This is a wild one. I don't have his number anymore.
Look like somebody.
I wouldn't even prank him. I just call him and say, "Hey, jerk, dick, or whatever."
Who's
Wiener Wednesday?
Drunk or drugged? What do you see?
Well, I don't really know the difference just in terms of stumbling, but he is out of his head. There is just no question when you watch this. He is wandering aimlessly after midnight. He goes back and forth in areas. He runs at times. But there's one point, Ashley, where he leans against a wall and he seems to fall asleep for 2 minutes, because we have the surveillance video, and for 2 minutes he's leaning against this wall, and it's almost as if he just passed out. And then somebody comes by, and it seems like that guy wakes him up, and they exchange words. And to me, we can only see the guy he exchanged words with, but it looked kind of angry. But right after that is when he went back to the scene and apparently attacked this truck driver, Perry Toll.
Do we know if the police know who that passerby was, and if they?
So apparently this whole thing has been caught on camera, and Mark was beating this truck driver for, I don't know what the reason was that he gave, but the guy was 69 years old. Mark Sanchez is like 36 or 37. You know, he's fairly young and big and an athlete. I mean, he was like a top draft pick in the NFL. And
You've interviewed that witness?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even sure how relevant that witness is going to be, because really this is about.
But he ended up getting himself stabbed. Well, I think the old man neither of them won. They both ended up in the emergency room. But Mark Sanchez got stuck right in by the zombie rib cage.
What happened at the scene, and they seem confident enough that they made this arrest almost immediately. I mean, they very quickly said Mark Sanchez was the aggressor.
And on these videos, we don't see the incident itself, which makes me think, because the police were so quick, Harvey, they know when they know. And they're careful if it's Mark Sanchez and it's going to destroy his world, to make that arrest and be that, solid in their convictions.
I mean, destroy his world. I mean, he could have killed that old man easily. It would have been very, very easily. It could have very easily went the other way. And if that man didn't have a weapon on him or a knife.
They've got other video. Do you know if they have other video? Do you know if other video exists?
My understanding is there are 3 surveillance videos, and they are from different angles. And when you watch all three of them, you can capture what happened. And I am told, at least in one, and again, I don't have this to a point where I can absolutely say this is true, but I have spoken to somebody. I believe in one there might be audio as well.
Wow.
Audio.
Possibly. I mean, that's what I'm told.
Wow.
But I'm not. I want to make that clear.
We're
I have
not
not heard this, so this is secondhand. But
Yeah.
yes,
That would make such a
Did
big
anybody ever hear the story about when Harvey told everybody that he like saw OJ the night he allegedly, and I say definitely killed his wife and the not Ron Goldman, but what was it? Why did I forget his name? Not Ron Goldman's the dad.
difference, because then you can hear if Mr. Toll is pleading with this guy, please, no, and then you know if it stand your ground, and so much more legally
Yeah, it's Harvey something.
can be proven with the audio if there is audio.
Already, he's like 70 years old. He's got this. Nakato's the guy that lived out back.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I want to go back in time a little bit to the pub, because there's this pub.
Look, there's Mark right there, just walking around a trash can, hot,
And-
drunker than shit. I mean, look how drunk he is. Wow. What a terrible thing.
And I know that anything that you learn from
Where the hell's he going?
people in the pub, if he's pub, and I know that anything that you learn from people in the pub, if he
Now, Mark Sanchez says that he doesn't remember a friggin' thing from that night. And while that may be true, and somehow, some way, I believe him, I do not believe that it's an excuse for anything. Like that, it's not a defense. Blacking out, being blacked out drunk on drugs or whatever is not an excuse. And it doesn't hold up in court at all. Not even a little. So he can remember, he cannot remember. It makes no difference. He did it. And you're responsible for you and what you're doing and putting into your body and how it reacts. And, people get drunk and don't beat the shiz out of people. Old Harvey looks like he has been rode hard and put away. he's not very. How old is Harvey? Let me see. Harvey 11. Harvey's 75 years old. 75 years old, Harvey. 75. He looks pretty damn good for 75.
was there.
Look at him. Look.
But
Audio.
somebody, I believe in one there might be.
Shut up. Hey. Stop. Look at him. 75. Harvey, 75 years old.
The audio as well.
Audio.
Possibly. I mean, that's what I'm told.
Wow.
But I'm not. I want to make that clear.
We're
I have
not
not heard this, so this is secondhand. But
Yeah.
yes.
That would make such a big difference, because then you can hear if Mr. Toll.
Hey, can you calm down? Macho is such a pain some days. Yeah, he's 75 years old. And Harvey actually has like a very rigorous like workout routine. I've heard him talk about it a bunch before. It's really boring to hear him talk about it, but he's 75. So, I mean, if he was 50, I guess he's 75.
Is pleading with this guy, please, no, and then you know if it stand your ground, and so much more legally can be proven with the audio if there is audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's audio.
Okay, I want to go back in time a little bit to the pub because there's this pub, and I know that anything that you learn from people in the pub, if he was there, would be prior to, but it would at least help to know state of mind, whether he was overserved, all sorts of other things. Do you have any idea whether there's, whether police have interviewed in the pub? Do you know about any pub folks who've been able to shed some light on this?
That's going to be that I don't know if there's going to be a trial for this or whatever, or how much jail time he'll get. He'll probably get, I don't know. I mean, he at the most, be looking at a year maybe in jail, but obviously probation and stuff. But he's not going to do a lot of time, and he also got stabbed and almost died. So that's his problem.
I just know that especially when you look at the surveillance video, he was familiar with this pub. When he was walking around, apparently broadcasters stay at this particular hotel, and they are all familiar with it, and he's been there before. So he knew this pub. I mean, there was a reason after he was stabbed, he made a beeline. In fact, you even see in the video, he is running at one point. After he gets stabbed, you would think he'd hobble, but at a point he was just running and beelined it for the pub and then went inside. So he is familiar with it in terms of what he did that night.
I also saw him walking around holding his wherever he got stabbed.
I can't tell you, but what I can say is when you watch this video, like you said, I mean, I don't know what he has had. I'm sure he won't now. Maybe in the future at some point, but he had a pretty lucrative career as a broadcaster, and I'm sure he made pretty good money in the NFL too. Although he's famous for the infamous butt fumble. I don't know if any of you know what the butt fumble is, but it's when he hiked the ball and then ran directly into the ass of the center and fumbled the ball, and then the team returned it for a touchdown. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Was drinking or what he had taken, but it was something.
Yeah, and do you know about potential witnesses in the pub? If the police have been able to speak with them and find out any more intelligence, what he said when he came into the pub? Maybe if he'd been in the pub prior to, what he was like?
Ashley, what I'm being told is the surveillance video itself tells the story. So, what he was doing before, how much he was drinking, I'm not sure how much that really even matters, because the entire incident is captured on those surveillance videos.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking like you. As a defense attorney, I would say, no, Mr. Sanchez wasn't belligerent at all. But suddenly, if you've got these pub staff who say we had to cut him off, he was trying to pick fights with all of us, it would make a different picture.
Again, secondhand, but what I'm told is this surveillance video leaves little question about belligerence.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.
Yeah, sure. Cuomo. Whatever you say. Wow. Let me watch one. I want to see one more thing here.
Mike Paul is a PR expert and the reputation doctor. He heads a firm of the same name. He's a friend of the show, friend of mine. Mike, good to see you. I thought about you the minute this story broke. Well, and I bet you thought about a lot of things the minute this story broke, right? Because if anybody needs a reputation doctor, it's going to be Mark Sanchez. But is this even possible to cure?
Well, a lot of moving parts here, right? And you did such a great job, Ashley. So good to see you in describing
something that's going to become very significant, that age difference, not only pulling him out of his truck, but when it comes to the fear, when it comes to a threat, that age disparity, one being 38 years old, a former professional quarterback in the NFL, is going to become a big deal. Why he feared for his life, why he went for his pepper spray, why he had a knife to defend himself just in case. So this is, look, he's not playing professional football now. He is an NFL analyst for Fox Sports. So let's make that.
He was, and they're going to fire him. Why is a drunk footballer news? Well, probably. Well, he's first of all, he's famous. Second of all, he's on the air, so he's a Fox. He's a sports analyst every Sunday. He calls football games, and he beat up a 69-year-old man, then got stabbed.
Distinction. In doing so, what does Fox Sports now have to decide? We know this is big business, and we know this is about sponsors who pay for a show like that. There's a lot of different stakeholders that are involved. Are they comfortable with someone, as you say, before he even deals with the court of law, reputationally, for the NFL, for Fox Sports, for any sponsor who's buying ads on these telecasts, are they comfortable with this person representing them? That's a big question.
So, listen. It is. Fox is going to be one aspect of this story, Mike. The other one sort of broke today, and that is the mother.
Yeah, well, it has to do with the age difference, which is a big deal, but also of who he is. I mean, a 38-year-old beating up a 69-year-old guy and then getting stabbed isn't exactly front page of the New York Times. Mark Sanchez is a well-known quarterback from the NFL who took the Jets to, I think, 2 AFC championships. He also played for the Chicago Bears. And so, yeah, that's, I would think.
One of his kids. Her name is Aaron Campaneris. He has an 8-year-old son with Aaron Campaneris. And she told, I think, the New York Post, and I'll quote her, "Sadly, none of this is surprising to me." Okay, so Mike Paul, if you've got a baby mama saying, "Not surprising to me," this makes it even more difficult. I'm not even touching the rumor mill that's out there on the internet because it's gone bananas too. How do you overcome a baby mom who says that about Mark?
Well, first of all the news agencies that are out there are saying to themselves, we want to know more. What does she know that we don't know? Does she know more about challenges that Mark has had off of the field, out of the analyst box? Has she had to deal with problems with his behavior, for example, as a mother? Has he had rage in past that she might know about? All those are significant questions that Mark should be concerned about. And as you say, Ashley, he's not only dealing with the football side of this, he's dealing with his personal life and the lives of others that he touches. And when I'm doing an analysis for any of my clients, I'm thinking of all those pieces to try and find solutions to each one of them because they're all problematic.
And then I got to wrap it here, but, you know, he's got the civil suit, which means you can't just go say, sorry, I did it, because then you're on the hook. And you've got the criminal procedure, which could be up to 6 years. So tick a lock, you know, you got to keep it quiet. You can't just go give a statement, maybe rehab. I don't know. Hey, Mike Paul, will you come back as we continue to watch his next steps?
Glad to, my friend.
Didn't he take the knife away and stab the older man as well? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I know that the older man had like a huge gash on his face. But it's just hard to, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I wish I knew. But I don't. And I just, what is going on again? Why is it always doing this shit? I mean, it probably should. And Kelsey said, that's a good question, actually. the thought on Ellen Greenberg case, it's not the one where she was stabbed in the back of the head and it was ruled suicide, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. By the way, please hit that like button if you would. Isn't that what they said, that she was stabbed like in the back of her head, and that she that she killed herself? Yeah. I mean, I'm no medical examiner, but I don't know how somebody can do that. I don't know how somebody could do that. I have no idea. I don't even know if that's really possible, you know. So I don't believe that she did it to herself. And I don't know many medical examiners that would come to that conclusion. But I honestly don't know the case that well. I just know that I heard that I saw that, you know, another medical examiner took a look at it and said, "Oh, I don't know. I think it was. I mean, I'm sure we can. I don't know. What's her name? Ellen." Check it
The
out.
report says there were 23 stab wounds, even though.
What? 23 stab wounds? Is that real? 23 stab wounds? Never. Yeah, that's just, that doesn't make any sense.
So for the last 14 years, it's been reported as 20. Report also contends there was no sign of a struggle in the apartment. The family vehemently disagrees, says no sign of intruders. As for Ellen's fiance, a man named Sam Goldberg, who called 911 and says he found Ellen that way, the report says there's no evidence of an abusive relationship between the two, and Goldberg's DNA was not found on the knife. Instead, the report leans hard into Ellen's alleged anxiety, which she supposedly, and I quote, expressed to friends and coworkers and her fiance in the hours leading up to her death.
Yeah, I don't know many anxious people that stab themselves 25 times in the head.
Ellen's mother, Sandy, spoke with the Banfield Show today, saying that the report is, quote, an injustice, which appears, in her words, to selectively choose information to reach a predetermined result. The Greenberg's lawyer is more succinct. He calls it tripe.
Good.
And that lawyer spoke with our Brian Enton, who joins me now live. Brian, I am so astounded. I fully expected this to go the other way. What did the Greenberg's lawyer tell you when you talked to him today?
Yeah, well, actually, this is one of those cases that we know so well because we've read all of the reports. And it's clear when you read over this new medical examiner report from Dr. Lindsay Simon in Philadelphia, the chief medical examiner, that she picked and chose what she wanted to include. And when you think back to just the evolution of this case, Dr. Osborne, the first medical examiner, first calling it a homicide, then switching it to suicide. Then years later, like 6 months ago, he's suddenly back on the record saying, actually, I no longer believe it is a suicide. And this is someone who actually, examined the body, says he doesn't believe it's a suicide anymore. And now today, this new medical examiner, who no one has ever heard of, by the way, including the Greenberg's attorney, who's been on the case since the beginning, knew nothing about this woman, Dr. Simon, suddenly she releases this 31-page report saying, no, actually, it is suicide. And yes, it is unusual. That's the quote she used, but said that she believes that Ellen would have been capable of doing this to herself, Ashley.
Okay, the one thing I can't get past is what one of the investigators that the Greenbergs hired said, and that was that at least one of the stab wounds happened after Ellen was dead. It is impossible for it to be a suicide and then you die and stab yourself one more time.
Well, first of all, who stabs themselves in oh my Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
For it to be a suicide and then you die and stab yourself one more time.
I mean, I'm not even a medical examiner, nor do I know anything about any of this, but I'm also not an idiot. I mean, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I think that diagram you just showed, for me at least, there it is, has really just.
And I'm not a, you know me, 99% of the time I toe the line. I'm like, yeah, look, this could have happened, or it's possible. I don't even think this is possible. I don't see how. I have no friggin' idea how this is even possible.
Told the entire.
I don't think it is.
Story. You look at that. How does someone do that to themselves? Specifically, the stab wound into the back of the neck, into the spinal cord.
That's just, it's.
Perhaps done after she was already dead. How is it even possible that she could do that? Well, in this report, and this is the first time we've ever heard this, and there have been so many experts who have reviewed all of this. This has never come up before. For the first time now, this new woman, Dr. Simon, is saying that it may have been Dr. Osborne, the medical examiner, who actually punctured the spinal cord by accident when he was examining the body. Again, that is something that we've never heard before.
Wow, that's awfully new 14 years later. I wonder how they came, to that information and haven't had that in 14 years. All right, I only have 30 seconds left, Brian. Is there any legal recourse left for the Greenberg family at this point?
Well, I asked their attorney, Joe Pedraza, that today, and he didn't. It was interesting. He didn't want to get into specifics, but he was clearly thinking of different options. We know that the state could get involved. Look, they don't trust the city of Philadelphia anymore. They don't trust the city police to do a fair investigation. They obviously don't trust the medical examiner's office. But could state police get involved? Could the FBI now get involved? I mean, there's almost 200,000 signatures on a petition that just came out, Ashley. There's the Hulu doc that went viral. People are upset about this case, and now for this medical examiner to come out with this report that just says, suicide, nothing to see here after 14 years. The family.
Who was it that hired this new medical examiner? Does anybody know who did that? Was this? Does this like I don't know who asked for this?
He says they're not giving up.
Well, you and I have been upset about it for a long time.
Let me see. Josh, I knew a woman who set herself on fire trying to unalive herself. She lived a couple of days. I've heard of that too, but that's different than stabbing yourself.
And it's about time that the public starts getting upset because, look, transparency, right? That's all we're all asking for. And the more hijinks it seems go on.
Yeah, but who was it? Who asked for this new... Who asked for this new medical examination? Who authorized this? What was the point of it? As part of a settlement with the city of Philadelphia in 2025, the city agreed to reinvestigate the cause of her death. So it was the... Okay. Okay, so the city was getting sued, and they said part of the agreement was, okay, we'll pay you this amount of money, but we want you to hire somebody. Okay, well, I mean, that's just crazy.
The worst that this is.
You have to have an independent medical examiner. And somebody having anxiety, which I would say that probably 98% of the people in this chat that are watching this show or have experienced, and I don't know, man, you got to have an independent
for
medical examiner.
everyone. Great work, Brian Entin. Thank you. Keep us posted on every next move. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you for.
Oh, look, this is from 8 months ago. They've been covering this one for a long time, huh?
Do you believe that there was strangulation?
Yes.
To medical certainty?
To reasonable degree of medical certainty, she was strangled, yeah. I would testify in the court of law. I've said it in my reports.
Whoa, a forensic neuropathologist said that she was strangled.
Do you think there's any signs of abuse before the death?
I'm concerned about that, yes. And the reason I'm concerned about that is the bruises to the wrists, obviously the strangulation, but there's extensive bruises to the lower legs. What is that about? Where did she get that? She's not a kickboxer. She's not in karate that I know of. She looks like a typical nice girl, you know, very feminine looking. How did she get those bruises down there?
And Brian Entin joins me live now with this remarkable story that he has doggedly pursued. Were you surprised by these findings?
So basically what it sounds like, and this is just my interpretation of it, and I could be completely wrong, but from the very little information that I know about this case, that because of the settlement, it would behoove the city to make this go away. Apparently it's been a big deal for a long time. I mean, I've heard of this case, but it's been going on for a really long time.
I mean, this pathologist really thinks that this was staged.
You know, I was surprised by what he has uncovered. He's been working the case for 10 years, Ashley. He says it is staged, that this whole scene was staged, and that he has the evidence to prove it, that perhaps Ellen Greenberg didn't even die from the stab wounds. This is a highly respected forensic pathologist. He does autopsies 4 different counties here in Pennsylvania, was hired by the Greenbergs. He's done 14,000 autopsies overall. He says he has never seen anything like what happened to Ellen Greenberg and all of this crazy.
Okay, so what's the connection? Like who? So the man, the boyfriend, or the whatever, who people suspect. What's his connection to like city officials? Does he have a connection to law enforcement, to city officials? I mean, is he a rich kid? I don't know any of this stuff. I'm just asking because I truly don't know.
That has gone on for the last 14 years. Listen to what he says about it being staged.
When I look at the scene, first thing I notice when I look at it, and I think synthetically, is, oh my goodness, this scene is staged. How do I know it's staged? Because I see her back up against the cabinets in the kitchen. Her arms are down by her side. The left hand is holding onto a towel. There's no blood on the towel. There's no blood on her hand. There's blood to the back of her left hand. To the right are her glasses. Now, obviously, she's not sitting there stabbing herself and then wiping herself with the towel. Why does she have a towel there? And there's no blood on the base of the left hand. She didn't use her left hand, obviously, to stab herself. And there's a towel in there. Why would she have a towel in her hand if she's going to be stabbing herself? And there's no blood in it. Well, she didn't. Somebody else put it there. It's staged.
He says the clean towel.
I've never even heard of a staging, like a stabbing staging.
Ashley doesn't make any sense. He believes it came from the bathroom. He's frustrated that there was no luminol testing done.
Whoa.
There was no testing by police done in the bathroom. He showed me photos in the bathroom. All of her stuff was packed up. Her makeup bag was packed up. Her cell phone was sitting right on top of her bag.
Wow.
He believes perhaps she was packing up to leave when all of this went down. He showed me the sink, by the way, the kitchen sink. In the sink, there was a pot scrubber, and there was a sponge, and there were 2 knives. None of that was tested, he said. So he's frustrated by the whole thing.
I'm frustrated, but I'm angry. I'm just angry at the sheer stupidity and the laziness or whatever else was afoot here. The doctor was really great in terms of demonstrating how absolutely asinine a finding of suicide was. What did he say?
Yeah, I mean, you call it asinine, and now, you know, the big civil
This is from 9 months ago.
case that was supposed to happen in the courthouse behind me this week, the city of Philadelphia settled. They settled, and let's not forget, the medical examiner who did the autopsy has now said it was not a suicide. So everybody seems to be agreeing in that way at this point.
Yep. And that would tell you that the knife handle was cleaned.
But this is the way he explained it in terms of all those stab wounds, 20 stab wounds to the front and the back of the body.
If you're going to call this a suicide, not a homicide, that somehow she stands up or leans over, stabbing myself. Oh, I get to get blood drops down there. Blood drops, get down there. Oh, not my hand, sorry. I used the left hand, shouldn't have done that. Just the right. Blood drops. And then she falls to the ground, she's on it and everything else. Boot turns to the side. Oh, excuse me. Let me stab myself again and drop the blood on the side. Does that make any sense? No, of course not, right? But that's what you're suggesting. I mean, you're not suggesting it. So there's blood drops there, they're coming straight down too. And there's hair here. I mean, why the heck's there hair in between here? What's that from? Now, what happens is when you get hair like this, sometimes the person is defending themselves and literally the victim actually pulls their hair out. But the other times, the assailant is pulling the hair out. Either way, you got hair here in the middle. Does that make any sense to anybody? Of course not.
Thanks for watching. Go to join NN.
What is it? What is his name? And that was her boyfriend, right? Oh, Kevin.
A shocking twist in a baffling cold case. Ellen Greenberg was stabbed more than
Now, this morning, our top story, quite frankly, is hard to believe. We've been covering the quest of Ellen Greenberg's family in their search for justice. They contend that the 27-year-old's death by 20 stab wounds, some even to her back, was not a suicide.
25, actually. They said that they found 5 more now? What?
Now, after years of demanding the justice of the city of Philadelphia, city decided to take another look. And now, People magazine is exclusively reporting that they've received the Philadelphia Medical Examiner's report. The hearing is scheduled for today, so the public's going to learn all this today. But if you read People, you'll see that they learned that once again, the ME has ruled her death a suicide. This is just days ago. Her parents joined Joel Waldman on his podcast, Surviving the Survivor. Joel Waldman, of course, friend of the network. And take a listen to some of what Ellen Greenberg's father shared with Joel.
Oh, I'm not optimistic. No, I think the city's going to sit on this and do nothing if they can. I think there's going to really have to prod them and threaten them to do anything. Because if I was the city, I would just sit on this and do nothing because they are afraid of being sued. That's what this is all about from the city's viewpoint. If they give in to us, they're afraid they're going to get sued by others who have similar problems like us. So to me, if I was the city, I would just sit and keep my mouth shut and say no comment.
Court TV did reach out to the medical examiner's office, but they have not gotten back to us at this point in time. Later today, the Greenberg family and the city of Philadelphia are scheduled to go before the court. This is in Philadelphia Common Pleas Court. The judge is Linda Carpenter. They're expected to appear today for a hearing. And I suppose we find out what's next, if anything, after this. So what many of us want to know is how in the world did this medical examiner come to this conclusion?
I mean, did she explain it ever? I mean, you'd think she would have to explain this.
Again, let's bring in our guests. Former homicide prosecutor who reinvestigated the case, Guy D'Andrea, is with us. So is board-certified forensic pathologist Dr. Priya Banerjee, and private investigator, also retired member of our military and the NYPD, Manuel Gomez. Great to have you all here on this one. Guy, let me start with you here, please. As you are one of those people that arguably knows this case better than everybody. You've poured through the file. You've spoke to the Greenberg family time and time again. What's your reaction this morning, Guy?
Julie, it's absolutely sickening, especially when you dive into the rationale that was used to maintain this as a suicide. So they go back to the same talking points. The door was latched. There was no defensive wounds. Neither of that is true in the sense that the latch, which you know can be done or undone from the outside, and the way that it was damaged proves that no.
Yeah, I mean, this is so blatantly mishandled already that either it's incompetence, corruption, or a bit of both. But I would think that the FBI would probably be interested, to take a look at this, but I think that the jurisdiction is that the FBI has to be asked. I don't think that they can just come right in there. Now, state police, maybe. I don't know. I mean, this is very confusing.
No one breached that door, meaning whatever the story was about how the fiance entered cannot be true, physically speaking. There were defensive wounds on her wrist. The medical examiner said no overturned items. That's not true. There were. And most shocking, the medical examiner didn't even bother to do any independent review of the spinal column. She just dismissed the findings of other neuropathologists who did the examination. This is shocking and absolutely appalling.
Guy, one of those forensic pathologists was world-renowned Dr. Cyril Wecht, as you well know, late great doctor who said it was strongly suspicious of homicide. Dr. Priya Banerjee, what do you say this morning to this?
Is there anybody that actually thinks that it's not a homicide? I mean, besides medical examiner?
Wow. I do want to say that there's always a caveat that if new information or new reasons come about to re-review a case, re-rule on a case, that can be done. But that drawing, that illustration that you just put really sums up a lot. Now, to me, it's, when we look at an autopsy, the order of wounds are sometimes hard to determine, but N and T are labeled here. This isn't my diagram, very useful in that you can see that the spinal cord is injured, or the spinal column at least, right? The bones are where the knife wounds are.
Do they? I don't know if they know which stab wound was first. But I would think that after, one or two of those, that you're probably not going to be able to stab yourself anymore. And I don't know anybody that stabs themselves in the back of the neck by the spinal cord or in the back of the head, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Entering, and that's with force. That doesn't just slide right in, and that can potentially injure the spinal column.
And do you know how hard it is to stab? It's not that easy.
can shock it, if you will, okay? Sort of like a concussion of the spinal cord. That's going to render her unable to use her arms, the level that we're talking at, high up, okay?
At least
and the nerves for the arms come out below that. So she's effectively paralyzed, in my opinion, or that's what I'm most worried about here. Then how would we explain the chest wound after with the knife left in her?
Excellent analysis, Dr. Priya. Thank you. Manuel Gomez, of course, I want to go to you about the crime scene, the evidence collection in this case. Would you weigh in on that, please?
Well, I find it shocking that, one, it's impossible for her to stab herself.
I mean, when you're looking at this guy that's talking right now, if you have ever heard the term for a haircut, high and tight, this is the definition of a high and tight haircut.
The way these pictures show. Two, all right.
I mean, it's the highest and the tightest. Look at that thing. Looks like the Situation's dad from Jersey Shore, kind of. Or his brother. I don't know. But that's a high and tight right there.
The judge should have stepped in. I mean, everybody in the world can see this woman did not stab herself 20 times.
I think it was 25. Wasn't it 25, I think?
As it shows in your diagram. And it shows the angles of the wounds. There's no way her arm could have reached that point.
Not a chance.
That's one. And then I think the judge had a crucial role in this case to state the obvious. She was murdered. How do you consider this a suspicious death? There's no way. This was a clear-cut murder, and this is one of the things that I'm talking about, that judges are not stepping up to the plate and doing what they need to do, and that we need to have some type of independent agency that can turn around and remove judges from the bench who don't proper act in the way the law is supposed to be. This case is an abomination to what justice is. This family is being robbed. She was murdered, and it's
yeah, well, so what are they saying the gash is from? That she stabbed herself in the back of the head too? I mean, it's asinine, really. It really is.
Unfortunate we're labeling it as a suicide when clearly it's not.
I agree. I agree with all of the points that all three of you made here. I'm stunned. I had a feeling things might stall a bit today. I kind of thought, maybe they're going to say something like undetermined, reopen, still not advanced to the point of homicide, but at least that kind of gets us going in a direction of reinvestigation. Guy DeAndrea, let me go to you about something that's bothered me. I'm sure it's bothered you too. There were 2 clean knives in the sink in Ellen Greenberg's apartment. And yet, supposedly, it was this knife from a knife block on the counter that was knocked over. That was the one that she used over and over again to kill herself, if we believe what is being said at this point. There is a finding from this second medical examiner, as with the first, where they said, the fiance's DNA was not on the knife that was used to kill herself. My question is, how do we know that it was that knife in her hand? How do we know that one of those clean knives wasn't actually the one used and there was a swapping, maybe? I don't know. Would you weigh in, Guy?
Absolutely. None of those knives in the sink were tested. And to be fair, I don't know what it would show because they were clearly washed. But here's the thing that bothers me with testing for just DNA on the knife and this over-reliance of Ellen's DNA. Of course, Ellen's DNA is going to be on the knife because her blood is on it.
Right, but I think my question is, they're saying like, okay, so what? Like she stabbed herself, fell, and then hit her head.
Now we all know that if you don't have an injury and you're holding the handle of a knife, the odds of leaving your DNA, it can happen, but it is very, very low. I think the society generally thinks if you touch something, there's going to be DNA. That's just not true.
That's true, too.
Better analysis would have been a combination of a DNA testing.
Everybody always wants DNA. They always want DNA, and it's not always there. The excuse is that I do not believe it's not federal. It's not money or kidnapping. It's not federal.
As well as fingerprints, right? And that still may not have shown anything, because all he would have had to have done, or anyone who did this would have had to have done, would be wipe off the knife. And so
are they saying that the gash is from a stab wound?
that over-reliance is of no moment to me, and it's obvious.
It's not possible, Cakesby. I mean, there's no way when your spinal cord is severed that you have control over pretty much anything anymore.
Obviously of no surprise that her DNA is in the knife, on the knife, because it is her DNA on the knife in the sense that it's her blood.
Guy, thank you for that. That's really, really insightful. Dr. Priya, let me go to you next, please. Something that I learned from Dr. Wecht is how forensic pathologists like yourself will correlate, findings that police gather at the scene with the findings at autopsy. And here we know one of the facts that is clear.
Not to be graphic or anything, but I mean, I've read like autopsy reports of murders where there was stabbing in the head, and the stabbing somebody in the head is a very it's takes a lot of strength, actually. And I've even heard of knives breaking because of it, like the tips of the knives.
Clearly in dispute now is whether she was actually locked in there by herself. I'm curious if someone brought you that fact and said she was alone without a doubt, how much does that influence your opinion on a case like this where we're seeing stab wounds to the back of her neck and the back of her head?
So I think we've talked before that I've had multiple cases where it is numerous stab wounds that are self-inflicted, okay? But I always start suspicious, if you will, right? And then you have to prove that it's not a homicide. And there is a category, as you mentioned, manner of death, called undetermined, right? Which is things aren't adding up completely. And I think despite the fact that she would be alone, let's assume that.
I mean, undetermined would be a welcomed, that would be a welcome finding, because it's impossible. I mean, it looks like homicide, but I mean, at least you go, you know what? I'm not really sure, but I don't know how you wouldn't be sure.
And they're showing the door hinge there.
You just say, look, I don't know, but obviously somebody else did something to her. It wasn't, how can it be her? I just, that doesn't make any sense.
I think I would have a hard time stomaching suicide, as was initially and then now ruled again. I think, you have to go with some common sense too, that, could it be I don't know the intricacies of locks and hinges. I just know the medicine and the angles, as my colleagues have said, the depths. I think it's just weird. And
that is a rage stabbing. That's what that is. And I'm usually not so confident just coming out and saying this stuff. I don't know who did it. I don't know anything about the case, but I do know that whatever happened to her was done in a fit of rage. And I do know that beautiful women sometimes leave ugly ass guys who aren't worth anything, and they don't like it. Yeah, I did, Martha. I saw the log.
Go at least undetermined, even if the investigation told me no.
Do you know how tired somebody would be after stabbing somebody 20-something times? I mean, it's a lot, but that is a rage. That is a rage killing. It's a rage moment. Nobody rages on themselves and shoots themselves, stabs themselves in the back of the head. Now, I did know a guy who did stab himself 9 times, but that was all in the stomach. And I guess by the 9th, you know, he actually lived, but by the end, I mean, he was assed out, meaning he just
Kelsey donated $5 through Super Chat. Joe, tomorrow, smiley face emoji.
Joe, you mean Gio?
Way, no how. That's just
Thank you, Kelsey.
my professional opinion.
Really appreciate that, Dr. Priya. Sam Goldberg, Ellen Greenberg's fiance, gave this statement to CNN saying, quote, when Ellen took her own life, it left me bewildered. She was a wonderful and kind person who had everything to live for. In the years that have passed, I've had to endure the pathetic and despicable attempts to desecrate my reputation by creating a narrative that embraces lies, distortion.
This is the kind of shit you see in a movie, though, right? Like this is like movie-esque bullshit. I mean, it's bullshit, really.
And falsehood.
In the middle of making a fruit salad. I mean, who would kill themselves in the middle of making fruit salad? I'm not trying to be funny. It's asinine. The whole thing is nuts. It's just stupidest shit you ever hear.
Again, not a suspect, never been a suspect, not charged.
The fact that he was never a suspect, the fact that, I mean, that's crazy too. He's a suspect in everybody else's eyes, but he's got to be a suspect initially. Don't you think?
Be very clear.
I love fruit salad.
On that. Manuel Gomez, if you could interview this gentleman, though, let's say he would cooperate and do an interview with you. Well,
yeah, that's not going to happen.
What would you ask him?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part again.
Oh, what would you ask Ellen Greenberg's fiance if you could speak to him?
Oh, God, I would love to get this guy in a room alone. All right, this guy.
All right, simmer down there, Chuck.
I would definitely press him about what.
I mean, it's just so high and so tight. It's tight and high and tight. Is he like a...
His situation was with her, try to tap into his mindset, look at his body movements, use a ruse to try to see if I can shake him, because I do believe that she was murdered. And I'm going to tell you, and I would express that to him and put the fear of that into him, because the fact is, where is the history of her wanting to commit suicide? I don't see it there. And this is one of the things. Why would this gorgeous woman want to kill herself? Why?
She wouldn't.
Why, truly? And that's what I would press him with and see if I could shake him.
Oh, man. Wild.
Now,
wow. 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 Yeah, it is t-shirt time, because that's what he looks like. It's pretty interesting, I tell you that. I think that one's gonna start getting more and more attention. It's because it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense, but not that it should. All right. And now, a friendly reminder from T-Tits. Why does he look like that?
Peace, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, and Kaylee Gonsalves. We all know that on...
It looked like a Brillo pad.
November 13th of, 2022, we know what happened there. And again, there's reports coming out that Bryan Kohberger...
We do? We know what happened? We know what happened? Breaking news. Dumbass in car has an opinion about a case.
Accepted a plea deal after finding out his sister was a potential witness. Now, I just wanted to talk to you guys about this because is that why he took...
This guy's obsessed with Kohberger. Like, it's obsessed.
This plea deal? What is the reason Kohberger took this plea deal? Is that the reason why?
Does he have a filter on?
Or is there something bigger to the picture of why he took this plea deal? Now, I truly believe he took the plea deal because he knew he was grass. He knew he was toast. And, you know.
Yeah, that's why people take plea deals.
Again, what can you do when you know you're toast? When you know they have enough evidence.
Then you put some butter on it. But you know you're toast, bro. Well, you're burnt. You're burnt. Your toast is burnt. You're burnt toast. You know what I'm saying?
To fry you and put you to death. Did he wiggle out from death? Is he scared of death? Absolutely. I believe that is the absolute answer and what happened here. Now, again, Rev Gang fan.
Whoa, this is groundbreaking analysis.
Family, I truly believe that. Again,
shocking news. Somebody's afraid of death. Oh, it's not the number one fear of all people ever that have ever lived. No, it's not. It's fear of not eating enough vegetables so you don't get polyps in your 70s.
Is the answer. But, you know, I find a few things interesting in this case, and it's the way that he committed these murders. And the way that he committed these murders was slipping into this house that I believe he stalked. He knew who was there. He knew what they were doing that night. And he just took it upon himself to act on something that he had to act on because why?
Yeah,
Kaylee was in town. And truly, I believe that. I know a lot of you guys, you know, we're going to believe what we believe, but I truly believe that that's what happened. His target was there and he had to pull the trigger fast, and he ended up running into Xana, which led him into the room with Ethan, and that's why he killed Ethan and Xana. He ran into Xana after ordering, you know, Jack in the Box or whatever she had gotten. And rest in peace to those 4 souls. This guy deserved.
You can almost see through him. He's transparent. I mean, he is white on rice in this. And he almost looks like Michael Jackson. Like he doesn't have a nose. I don't understand what's going on here. It is. I mean, he solved the case. Thank God. Thank God we got old Trevor Tits on the case here, huh? Why does he look like this? I hate to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Fudge. Let's not forget, he thinks he's black. Rack City, bitch. Rack City. Rack City.
Death, and the fact that he didn't get death is a loss to the family and truly heartbreaking. You know, after everything, after covering this case, after, you know, all the stuff that we've seen and people we've talked to and the theories that we've talked about, nobody deserves more justice than the Gonçalves and everybody, actually all the families in this case. I don't want to say Gonsalves. That's selfish of me to single them out because
It's Gonsalves.
Every family lost.
Like a C, but it's a G, but it's pronounced with a C. Gonsalves. Spanish.
Someone important that day, and all
Yeah, Lindsay knows what's up.
4 of these souls were very important, and we are going to continue to be the voice.
Yeah, that's the I'm 15 starter pack.
Voice for the voiceless, and
It's gonna be the voice for the voiceless, guys. Awesome.
Speak and talk about these situations. Now, again, Bryan Kohberger's sister allegedly listed as a witness in this case. Truly, what is your thoughts? I'm concerned about what your thoughts may be on this.
He's concerned. You mean that you want to know, or you're concerned? Why are you so concerned?
Would that have made a difference? Would he have been fried? Would he have...
I don't know why he's talking different. Oh, man. I really didn't mean to do that. That's messed up. Really, I didn't. That pause was an accident. I swear, I promise you it was. I promise. I can't look at the screen.
Been put to death. What is your alleged thoughts here on Bryan Kohberger, and would it have made a difference if his sister was a witness or not? Would it have been the same outcome? Drop your comments down below. I will be reading them. Rev Gang family, I love you. I'm gonna get back to making these consistent videos.
Nice.
And just talking about the cases that move my soul. Again, I love every single one of you. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this content. Let's get back to it, because this is what I thoroughly enjoy. Ethan Chapin. Ethan.
That's great. All right. Moving on. Okay. Probably going to only do half of this. So this is, what is this, from two or 3 days ago? One we haven't seen.
Let me stop it right there. Okay?
Oh, stupid voice. Why did he do a stupid voice? I don't do a stupid voice. Let me stop that right there. Oh. Oh. Ah!
Sometimes you gotta be the best.
Holly!
Yes. Sometimes you just gotta be the best.
He's back. Teacups is back.
You understand
Teacups.
what I'm saying? Cause I had no clue.
I'm just playing. Let me calm it down a little.
I truly think that he is so uncomfortable being who he is. That's why he pretends to be all these other people, which is sad if he wasn't such a shitbag of a person. This lighting is much better.
But
Damn. A lot of people don't like me, but they like me.
I don't like him.
what's up, bro? What's up, Rookie? What's up, brother? What is the word? You know what I mean, Pop.
Every time he does a stupid voice, we're gonna have to do a. We're gonna have to. Let me find. Hold on. Give me a second here. Hit the like button and share this out. We must get the word out that Teacups is back. Teacups is back. All right, hold on. Soundboard, where do I find it? Where do I find it? Shoot. not that. I gotta find another bell. I don't want to use the Wiener bell. I want to use a different one. Tank top Trevi. I like that. Trevi Woods. Trying to think. Hold on. That's way too much. It's not great either, but all right, let's get back to it.
What's good with you, man?
Dude, Foghorn would be legit.
What's up, everybody? Frank, what's going on? Frank, damn, we got numbers in here? What's going on with the numbers? Mama D, you said, am I okay? I'm great. How about you, though? I'm doing really good. I appreciate you asking.
What is this? What is this new subdued like, T-Rev? Because it stinks. Hold on. Let me set this up a little better. Hold on. Just give me a second. Just quick intermission. Give me a quick intermission. Let me find not voice effects. I don't want any of that. hell was that? That was not what I was looking for. All right.
So, man, oh man, right? A lot of people, I do see some email. I've seen some emails and things, and I just tried to stay away from it because I'm doing exactly what the title says, being the best father I can be. And instead of focusing on the wrong things like relationship with women and other things that hinder a relationship with your children.
So it sounds like you got dumped.
I've decided to put my children first, no matter what. And hopefully my daughter sees the light soon. I know my son does. And I've thought about it. You think about things when you're in the car a lot, you're working and you're doing, you start to think. And the number one thing is being a father. There's no hand booklet on being a father, but
there's no hand booklet, so you guys know that there is no hand booklet on being a father. None? No hand booklet? There's no hand booklet, guys. Whatever that means.
My vision of seeing and being a father is, I could have been better in the past. I'm not scared to admit it. I could have been a better father. I could have excelled in ways. Yes, there was roadblocks and things in the way of me being that better father, but that's all a learning process, and there's no hand booklet on how to be a better father. But I tell you what,
there's no hand booklet.
Once I had got my son in custody, just in my custody, I've devoted to lay it all on the line like I always have, and that even the same way I did on YouTube. Lay it all on the line. If you're gonna do something, do it all the way. Don't do it half-assed. Don't give it half energy. Give it everything you got, and know that when it's all said and done, when people look back, they go, "Damn, he gave it everything he had." And you know what? The biggest and most important thing is to make sure that I support my son and daughter on anything they want to be in this life, and to make sure that I give that 100% energy rather than giving these distractions energy, right? And the distraction to me is a relationship with another woman or any other thing outside of not doing that is a distraction.
Bullshit meter.
Right? And that's why I'm on this journey of working to be the best me, but to make sure that my son, which I can control right now, and I hope my daughter sees the light and joins us on this journey of just becoming better people in life. And that's the little things, right? Helping people, helping anyone you can, doing anything that you can for the next person, because I know what it feels like not to have someone, right? And even like people that twisted my story and took my story and just made up their own like story to it, like, yo, Trev was a deadbeat and he doesn't take care of his kids and he owes this much in child support and blah, and just building their own storyline to my story, right? And I think it's funny because, you know, sometimes like you can't control everything. You can only control what you can control. And it's a fucked up system that we live in, because people are allowed to use children as ammo, and it hurts the children. It's not poor old me, it's poor those children that suffered from the consequences of the situation. And children shouldn't have children. I was a child when I had 2 children, right? And I learned so much from that, and I preach to my son every single day. Don't do that. Don't do that. I want you to focus on what you want to be in life, and I'm going to stand behind it and support it. And I want you to focus on that, right? That's just what I want for him. I want him to focus on that. So for all the single fathers out there and all the just fathers out there, period, use that and be the best role model you can for your children and show them how it's done. Because I was thrown to the streets. I was thrown to the wolves when I was young, and I was brainwashed by my mom that my dad was a piece of shit.
Wait.
That's the truth. I was thrown to the streets and told that my dad didn't love me, and I was thrown to the street for your children and show them how it's done. Because I was thrown to the streets. I was thrown to the wolves when I was young.
What are wolves? I mean, that's horrible that he was thrown to wolves, but what is that? The wolves? He was thrown to the wolves. That's terrible. That's terrifying. I don't even know what wolves are.
Young, and I was thrown to the streets. I was thrown to the wolves when I was young, and I was brainwashed by my mom. Streets. I was thrown to the wolves when I was young, and I was brainwashed by my mom that my dad was
I'm just going to go out. I'm just going to say this, that nobody should ever be thrown to the wolves. Now, he didn't say wolves. He said wolves.
Piece of shit. Wolves when I was young. I was thrown to the streets. I was thrown to the wolves when I was young, and I was brainwashed by my mom that my dad was a piece of shit. That's the truth.
It's horrible.
Thrown to the streets and told that
to the wolves, bro. We was thrown to the wolves.
My dad didn't love me, and you know, certain things. My dad didn't want to be there, etc. Like, this is what I was.
He must have been thrown to the wolves too.
Was told, and
yes, they did make a video.
I believed it.
Unfortunately.
And I was brainwashed. And yeah, Frank, I agree with you. I'm very blessed. I'm lucky. And I could take everything and be sour about life, but I'm not. I'm actually probably the happiest I've ever been.
I mean, he says that every day, but I mean, I don't know if he is or he isn't. I really don't care.
Ever.
It's the wolves, dude. The wolves. I was thrown to the wolves.
Trumping anything. Like, now I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm striving. Like, when I say I'm striving, I'm watching everything in my life change.
I think he means thriving. God dang it, T-Rev. I'm striving. Striving to do what?
In front of my eyes. I'm been. Ever. Trumping anything. Like, now I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm striving. I'm striving. Like,
I'm sorry.
When I say I'm striving, I'm watching everything in my life change in front of my eyes.
Bro, he's striving, bro. He's striving.
From the work that I'm putting in and the effort that's being given. Because effort is everything. You gotta give it. You gotta give effort. You
have to strive to thrive. You gotta strive to thrive. You don't thrive to strive.
Give effort, there's no results. Right? If you give no effort, there's no results. If you give effort, the results will start changing in front of you.
That's true.
You know,
Domestic Pinup makes a fantastic point. When you're raised by wolves, you striving and driving and thriving.
That's been my biggest problem. Chasing women who don't even want to build a family.
And by chasing, he means like being in the bushes, and then when they see him, he runs off.
Right? Women
striving, bro. Striving.
Who don't want to build a family. Like, what am I doing? What was I doing? I'm an idiot.
We know. I mean, no bullshit detected there.
But that's okay, though. That's part of learning. That's part of getting over the hump. You got to realize every mistake that you make and capitalize off of it. You got to capitalize off of each mistake and turn that shit into you got to turn it into something beautiful.
He's striving and driving, definitely not thriving. You got to strive to thrive. Yep. You got to strive for your right. You got to strive for your thrive. Exactly.
Beautiful. And that's changing. Making changes, striving for change.
And now he got it. Now he used it right. He's striving for change. That's how you use it, bro. Good job.
Striving to make a difference. Striving to let those negatives, see the negatives that we go through as people, and I'm not just speaking for me, I'm speaking for a lot of people in general, especially the positive, the love and light people, the people who live in love and light and lift people up every single day that they live. We got to take our negatives and teach that to our children, no matter how hard it is. And a lot of people shield these children from the truth. And that's why these children go on to be nobodies. Because we shield the truth from them. What are we doing? Why are we shielding truth and knowledge that they should know? Oh, well, he's young. They're young and you shouldn't tell them that. Shut the fuck up. Yes, you should. You should tell them everything instead of hiding it from them. Oh, they're too young to know that. No, they're not too young. They're not too young. You need to teach them everything. You need to teach them about all the negatives. And the sooner we do that, the sooner we'll fix all these kids in the nation who are suffering because adults want to hide truth from them. You said, I'm not a player. I just crushed all the negatives.
Sounds like he's getting mad again.
Long Duck Dawn. How do you, that's a troll. That's definitely a troll. Long Duck Dawn.
No.
See, you got to get up out that basement sometimes, man. Let them muscles work. Get out there. Put in some work. Stop living off the system. It's wrong. A lot of these people raise their children to live off the system. Like, stop doing that shit.
Here we go.
I wake up every day and scrap the pavement. Straight up. I put in 80 hours a week. 80, shit, last week I did 88 hours. And I'm still out here putting in more because I love this shit.
He loves it.
I know what it takes. I know the work it takes. I love it. I personally, it makes me go harder. Every day. Like when people be like, yo, how'd you just sit in there and go live and do this, that, and the third? Like, because
he doesn't have a place to do it, from what I understand. I mean, it sounds like whoever he was with broke up. They broke up, but I mean, where's he staying at? Is he still staying there?
I can, and because I love it, because I'm not about to give something half-assed when I go in.
Yeah, right.
You know? What's good? You said I work 70? Hey, Frank, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who's putting in them hours. I want to put in them hours with y'all. You feel me? Like, a lot of y'all devoted, like, money. You guys devoted money, time, and all different types of things to my channel. And I appreciate you guys. Because you know what it takes to have people stand behind you and say the things that they have said about me. And I'm not talking about the negative. I'm actually talking about the positive, because that's the only thing I want to focus on is the positive. The negative is what we need to teach our children to stay away from, and we need to have them be vigilant about these negative things that are shielded away from them, which is why they go out into the world and they're vulnerable to all the negative that is surrounding out here, all the evil. And that's why these things happen to people, to good people, because they're not taught about the negatives that can happen besides the basics. Fuck that, I'm teaching everything. Yeah, I'm teaching them everything. Even the stuff that I've messed up on, I sit there and admit it right to them, because I don't care. You think I want my son to be in the streets like I was, with no guidance and with no parent that wants to push their child to be the best them? I refuse to be that dad. I refuse to be that dad. I refuse to be that dad. Nope. And the people who twist, I think it's funny to this day, like these people that have taken my story and made it their own and twisted and thrown their own narrative in it. Right? Because the whole entire time, my children have always been used against me as ammo. And me being dumb and uneducated at that time is what made it even worse.
What has changed?
So I sat back.
What's changed from that time to this time? That I'm curious about that, because he used to be dumb, but he's not dumb anymore. Okay.
It was just taking the licks, bop, 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 taking, and the whole entire time, yeah, I was hurting as a person, but fuck the hurt I went through. What about the hurt they went through? What about the guidance that they didn't get from men in and out of their life? What about that? What about the time of a dad taking their children out and playing catch with them and teaching them just the little things? What about those times? That's the things they suffer. Fuck what I went through. Screw all that. Screw all that, man. Our nation's fucked up because people can't get over shit, right? People can't let things go. I forgive anyone who's done anything fucked up to me. I forgive you.
Me too.
You know why? You know why I forgive you? Because I refuse to be that person. I refuse to be that angry, pissed off, wake up every day, hate the world, don't want to be anything, want to live off everybody else because of my depression, and I'm so mentally sick and I can't do this and that because I want to sit around and blame the world. I refuse to be that person.
Oh yeah?
Real shit. I refuse to be that person. I won't be that person. Because of where I come from, there's a bunch of bums and goofballs around there, and you start to become a product of your environment. And until you smarten up and get the hell away from that, you're gonna sit there and rot in your mom's basement like Long Duck Dong, typing in someone's comments, hating on them, and you gotta be in every YouTube channel with 50 different names instead of focusing on being a better person in life. You live off a woman or your mom or your parents, and you don't provide shit for anyone. You're not teaching anybody nothing. You're just trying to be the funny guy and get attention online and comments because your life sucks and you hate yourself. I refuse to be that guy. You know? I do. I refuse to be that guy.
I love his pep talks too.
And I just came on here to say I'm thankful for everything that I have, because it's precious and our time on this world is very limited. And why we're here.
Our time on this world.
Here, we got to do something useful. We have to do something useful. We got to make a change in every situation that we're in, and we need to put the good out and stop highlighting all the negative. Teach them the negative, but don't highlight it. Don't give it a stage. Don't give it legs. I've done it. We're all guilty of it. We're all going to be guilty of it at some point.
I have a dream.
But this negative,
I have a dream,
that's out here. If you don't get out here and make a difference, right? If you don't get out here and make a difference, and that difference, you don't need people's co-sign for a difference. If you know, a lot of people crave to be big on the internet. Fuck being big on the internet. I don't want to be big on no damn internet.
Well, that's good because you're not.
Take all that shit away from me. I don't care about it. I've seen and felt what it feels like. Trust me, it's horrible because you got a bunch of backstabbing weirdos.
Yeah, like guys that have YouTube shows that have people call in and pretend to be somebody that they're not.
There's really no loyalty and people think, oh, get on the internet, let's be famous. There's loyalty. You got loyalty in numbers. No, it's just a bunch of brainwashed people that don't even stand on half the shit they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like you start to look in and get close to some of these people, and then you take a glimpse into their life and see that these people hate themselves and they're over here co-signing good like they stand with the good when really they're in the fucking shadows, stabbing you in the back with that butcher knife. Don't be led by the devil out here. Make your own decisions. Stop being weird and stop trying to. You don't gotta co-sign everything to be cool. You know what makes you cool?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Your children, your family that you put on this earth, or people that you put on this earth, encouraging them and showing them the right way.
Tears ran dry, exactly. Laughy face, laughy face.
That's what makes you cool. And it don't have to be broadcasted either. But I get on here to do that because I still see there's over 100 and something members on the channel, and I haven't been live or even. So that just shows you how many people I've impacted. What, 100 and something? I love that. Thank you. Thank you for letting me impact and share my life with you.
I don't think he clarified what it takes to be cool.
My ups and downs. Okay, so when I move into my new crib soon, which I went and met up with a few people today, I was looking at a couple houses. Imagine that. Go back a few months ago and everybody's like, oh, T-Rep's crumbling and falling off. Like, I'm about to move into my own house. Ain't nobody fall off. Like, I'm actually fell on. I fell in. What's going on, Jeff?
Fuck.
See, I fell into something. Like, honestly, I'm striving at the best. Like, Jeff, would you send me $100 back on? Remember you sending me $100? I didn't even ask you for nothing, but you hit me up when I was talking and I was just letting shit off my chest, and Jeff was like, yo, what's your Venmo? Let me send you
I fell on.
That was nice of you to do that.
Somebody sent you $100 and you thought it was nice. Of course it's nice.
That was nice of you to do that.
I think he's virtue signaling.
See, that's the type. Shout out to Jeff for giving good gestures and picking people up around him and not, you know, I didn't ask him for nothing, but he wanted to. He insisted.
Insisted?
Right? Like, he insisted. And those are the type of people I cherish, those type of people, because those are the type of people that you'll see in stores and places, you know, the little things that you do to help, to contribute to the society, and those are the things that mean the most to me. I walk around and see a bunch of angry ass people every day, mad at life. Not me. Like I said, I'm about to move into my own house with my son. He'll have his own room, and I hope my daughter comes and joins at some point. Right? And she's brainwashed. I gotta say it. She's brainwashed by all the negative things that she was told by the internet and people that don't even know me. And that's okay. You know what? I can't even be mad at that.
That's good. Then don't be.
Because I contribute to that also. But when she's ready, I'll be here with open arms, ready to help her and ready to do whatever.
With arms wide open, under the sunlight, welcome to this place.
As long as
I'll show you everything. With arms
she's helping herself, I'll be ready to help her
wide open.
get into a vehicle, job.
It's always with the vehicles with him. How does he even have a license?
I'll let her focus on school. I'm here. That's what I want to do. I want, as long as my children they want something out of life, and that is to be a good person and to become whatever they want to become, I'm going to stand behind it. No matter what it is. As long as the effort is being given. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for. If I don't see you giving effort to it, then I'm not going to help. But if I see you want it, I'm like I told my son, I want you to focus on school.
Hi, Aretha.
Next
just
couple
in
years.
Time. We're just about to end.
And what you want to be. Think about really what you want to be and make sure it's something that you love, because if you don't love it, then you're not going to give it your all. You're going to look at it every day as a mistake, a problem. It's a big circle of depression that's going to keep coming back. Right. I said the same thing, Frank. What's going on, Desiree? I said the same thing. She'll come. And when she comes, I'll be here. I will be here. When she comes, I'll be here. I can't punish my daughter for believing what she wants to believe. Go ahead, believe it. But when she comes to Dad and she's saying, Dad, I need help, I'm going to be there. You know, she cut me off a couple months back, and I haven't talked to her since. I messaged her on her birthday. She ignored me. And that's okay.
That's tough.
That's all right.
That's tough stuff.
She feels some type of way. And that's okay. Feel that type of way. Because I want better for you. You can feel upset and mad. You're not used to somebody who wants better out of you. I get that. Trust me, I was there when I was a teen, when I was 13, 14, 15, when my dad stepped in and said these things like, hey, I want to get you away from that and into something positive. I didn't want to, because I was stuck into the negative already. I was in the streets. I was out slinging weed and crack at 13, 14, pistol on the hip, in the streets, already taught and stuck in my ways.
He's such a fool. Yeah, seriously, he's just the dumbest ever. All right, guys, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate it. And I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow or not, but maybe. I don't know. All right, you guys, have a good night. Thank you for being here.
Lab After Dark is starting After Dark is starting soon.
Right. Well, you opened that Pandora's door.
I was actually just sitting down to pee, but whatever, you know.